locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Happy New Year!
Oh, boy. What are you, Dick Clark?
That's it.
Is that your Dick Clark impression?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not Pitbull.
Did you watch the Pitbull?
Listen, I'm very upset about this.
What happened?
Okay? Listen, I got some bones to pick here.
With Pitbull?
I turned on the TV.
Yeah.
Looking for Pitbull.
And he wasn't there.
Not only did I not get Pitbull.
Yeah.
I got Steve Harvey. In some messed up looking pimp outfit, too. I don't know what the hell this guy was
Can you
wearing.
imagine the switcheroo that people got?
Oh, my God.
You're expecting Pitbull, young,
yes,
popular.
Doing a little...
Right, whatever he's doing. Whatever.
Yeah,
a little energy.
Yeah. That's it.
And you get Steve Harvey dressed like... he's dressed... like a chess piece.
Literally.
Is how he was dressed.
That's what he was dressed.
He was dressed like a chess piece.
The man looked ridiculous.
What was he doing?
I don't know. And he offended people, I hear, and all that. I mean, just...
Well, I'm surprised he didn't say Happy New Year 4 minutes ahead of time.
Sure, he should.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not New Year yet.
Yeah.
That would have been the ultimate.
That guy, he had a tough year.
It's of his own making.
He did.
Because he's a boob.
Yep.
He can't get... He's out to lunch
he's
completely.
Out to lunch, completely out to lunch. Listen, Fox, don't you ever... replace Pitbull again, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now.
I did see part of... I went out to the lovely Davio's on New Year's Eve and had a delicious dinner and hung at the bar with my peeps. And Mariah Carey was on.
Ooh.
She was doing her, because she's on the Ryan Seacrest.
Yes.
So I think they brought her back, as we talked about Mariah.
Yep.
In the last show, I think.
Did she do okay?
Well, I saw they couldn't hear the audio really, but you could see her. It didn't look like anything went wrong.
Good.
I think they gave her a web redemption, like Tosh.0, and she was able to get back on track.
Mariah on fire.
Yeah, I mean, I think she was wearing the same outfit as last year too, but Steve Harvey obviously wore it better. They were wearing similar outfits, from what I could tell.
I just, it's one thing to not give me Pitbull, but then you replace him with Steve Harvey. What the hell's going on?
I have to wonder. When Dick Clark was doing New Year's Rockin' Eve for 100 years, it was popular.
Yes,
big celebrities. He was the host. He was popular, but they had big people.
Sure.
They got Seacrest now. Jenny McCarthy? Get the hell out of here. How about somebody who's been relevant in the past 25 years?
Yeah, I don't.
And I'm waiting for someone in the crowd to just jab a vaccination in her neck. You know what I mean?
Oh,
just
stop it right now.
Just to make her be vaccinated.
Stop that.
Just to make her lose her mind.
You're so
she's
rude.
insane.
You're rude.
But the funniest thing is after the ball drops.
Yep.
Then you've got everybody leaves Times Square immediately. So the window looking down behind Seacrest, who now looks suddenly haggard and tired. Now we're tossing it off to New Orleans to see New Year's Eve Central Time. Really?
Hey.
Central Time, New Year's
Why
Eve?
not?
Why
they
bother?
Matter. Central
Why
Time
bother?
matters.
To who?
To Central Time people.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You mean flyover country?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, come on, stop that.
But,
Be nice.
I mean, at least, again, I would have preferred Pitbull over any of that.
I'm very upset that I didn't get my Pitbull. Very upset.
What do you think Steve Harvey makes for that? What do you think? Is it one of those things? Is it the same network his show was on? What was he on? Was he on Fox?
No, he was on Fox. Which
What do
they
you
got
think they
big
gave
money.
him?
They probably gave him $1 million for that.
$1 million?
They probably gave him $1
Are
million.
you kidding me?
I'm pretty sure he got paid very well.
How much did the pimp suit cost? Or did they comp that?
Did they comp the pimp suit?
Did they comp the suit?
This guy,
Unbelievable.
he looked like Uncle Fester or something. I don't know what the hell was going on.
No, he looked like a chess piece.
Yes.
And he looked
that was great.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That's a great characterization.
Yeah. He looked like a moron.
Yeah, I got to, Steve Harvey.
Like, I kind of get what he was trying to do.
I don't get it.
But I don't get it.
He just felt like, it's been a crappy year anyway. I'm just going to...
let me put a top hat on it.
Yeah, I'm just going to
say, see you later.
Yeah, forget it.
I mean, it's almost like he was dressed like... Do you remember the James Bond movie, Live and Let Die, with Roger Moore?
Yes.
And there's the bad guy with the black and white face, and he's got the big top hat on.
Yep.
He's supposed to be like the voodoo guy. That's exactly who Steve Harvey was doing a bad impression of.
It was bad. It was really... And I guess his jokes were even worse. So.
But his jokes have always been bad.
Yeah, but this is worse than bad.
God.
I don't know. Welcome back to Duke Loves Rasslin. I am the Duke. And yes, I want my Pitbull during New Year's Eve celebrations. Okay? And I'm going to keep on wanting that no matter what the Boston bad boy or Mike Pelosi says.
Well, I have bad news for you.
What?
and that is that I'm leaving, and Steve Harvey is going to be your co-host.
No, that's not good. I do not want Steve Harvey anywhere near this place. Okay? I will leave if that's the case. Jesus. What are the top stories in the world of professional wrestling?
No one cares.
Well, we're going to
It's a
find
new
out.
year. How about a new year where we don't talk about wrestling?
No, we're going to talk about wrestling, okay? Enough with the Steve Harvey. But we're going to find out during Run the Ropes. Who the heck is Ska the Mop Boy Rubin? What a name. And he won a championship, by the way. I got to ask this guy about that, with that foolish name and how he even won a championship.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Yeah, well, before we get to any of that stuff, it's time for Duke's Not-So-Random Thoughts.
Boy, I thought we weren't doing this anymore.
No, we're going to keep doing this. This is important.
Just get it over with.
See? Well, Sports Illustrated released their official ranking of the top WWE wrestlers. And to my glee, they put The Miz in the top spot. Okay? Here's a guy that's been insanely durable, is gold on the mic, and can be put in a program with anyone on the roster and help make them more legitimate in the eyes of the fans. Simply put, The Miz is the modern-day Chris Jericho. In many respects, he may be even more efficient than Jericho, which I'm sure Y2J is okay with, considering the fact that he's The Miz's mentor. Make no mistake about it, folks. John Cena may be the franchise of the WWE, but The Miz is the Big Mac and Whopper combined, and that's what the people line up to get another taste of. That's right. And with that said, run the ropes.
I got to say, before you start this Run the Ropes, that I have to agree that The Miz, his best quality over John Cena, no dungarees.
Give me a break. It's time to run the ropes. It's where I educate the knucklehead Boston bad boy on the top 5 stories in the world of professional wrestling. Let's go. New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 12. That's right, Boston bad boy. This may be the biggest non-WWE story of the year. Okay?
Wait, this year, or you mean the last 12 months? You mean the last 3 days, or?
Well, yeah, the last 3 days.
All right. Just wanted to clarify for those. I talked to somebody who was wondering about why something wasn't showing up. Well, today's 12-3. No, today's 1-3.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Get your act together.
Yeah, so I'm just making sure you have your act together.
Well, hey, see? Somebody said to me, ever since it's been the new year, you've changed. Okay.
Trust me, folks, he's still the same, unfortunately.
That's right. That's right. Bob Seger, baby. Chris Jericho is going to take on Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom 12, and that promises to be a huge match. Now, listen, to make matters even crazier, Jericho is dedicating the match to the late Chris Benoit. Now, as you know, Benoit is the man who allegedly had roid rage and killed his son and his wife and himself. Real crazy stuff about a decade ago. So the fact that Jericho is dedicating the match to Benoit, it's a big deal. Benoit has been taboo. Can't talk about him. Right. It's like he never existed for these reasons. But Jericho is doing this outside the WWE. Benoit was a big star in Japan with Jericho. They were close friends. So,
well, everything
is interesting.
Listen, nothing is black and white.
Sure.
And I wonder, and you may know this because I don't follow this, but the whole thing with Benoit, is that a potential CTE issue? I mean, because there have been...
I'm going to tell you right now, I 110% believe that, yes.
Well, because we know there's been a lot of suicides and erratic behavior. There's been domestic issues that have been linked, that have, when investigated, been linked to CTE, or starting to now be linked to CTE or multiple concussions.
Yes.
There's a correlation between these guys, you know, whether or not they were aggressive beforehand or whatever. I mean, it's probably worth looking at. And probably, you know, unfortunately, you know, his brain wasn't donated to science and the technology wasn't there back then. But I think it begs the reason that, again, it's not to make an excuse.
Well, that's the point.
For a horrific
And we have to say that.
incident.
We're not making an excuse, but the fact of the matter is...
there may be more factors involved in the story overall.
Yes.
And again, it's tragic. It's awful. But I'm a kind of person who likes to know all the facts.
Sure.
Whether or not it's hard to swallow or not, or it's hard to look at.
Just tell me the truth. Yeah.
Better to know. Because let's say we can go back. Let's say we can look at this guy and say, well, you know, CTE contributed 85% to his behavioral issues, which unfortunately led to this tragedy. Okay, now moving forward,
we can prevent this.
Let's try and prevent it.
Bingo.
Right. Let's just be proactive.
Yep.
Let's not try and we're not trying to mitigate the past. We're trying to learn for the future. So I think that if we can do that, we should be able to. I'm not sure in this instance it's possible.
Absolutely. And just to say, Jericho Omega, hey, it's going to be a great match. It's going to be a big deal. But the fact that Jericho dedicated to Chris Benoit, he added another layer of something to this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Really interesting
And maybe
stuff.
there's an awareness now coming
well,
with this more.
I think
more
that's
going
what
on.
it is. So kudos to Jericho. Good stuff. The club reunites. Boy, this has been long awaited here. Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Okay, they were the original members of the Bullet Club over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They all get hired away to the WWE and have been kept fairly separate this entire time. I mean, they've tagged a couple times together, but it looks like what the fans have always wanted, reuniting the real Bullet Club. It happened this past Monday, and it looks like it's going to continue. Now, this is a problem. In New Japan Pro Wrestling, quote-unquote Bullet Club, they still have a group. They're selling a ton of merchandise. They just signed a deal with Hot Topic. So Bullet Club shirts are actually in Hot Topic stores, which is crazy.
What's crazy is that Hot Topic still exists.
Well, the Bullet Club merchandise is helping them, I'm telling you.
Well,
man. I think it's one of their top sellers right
Really?
now. Yeah,
I believe
big deal.
it.
Big deal. So when I went to the WWE Clash of the Champions a couple weeks ago, I would say at least a third of the audience was wearing Bullet Club merchandise.
Listen, if something works, you got to go with it, right?
That's it. So I think the WWE saw that, and they're like, why don't we put these guys together? And it's like, if you would have done that from the beginning, you could have been selling that type of stuff.
But when has
all
the
along.
WWE ever done anything right?
Well, don't be disrespectful.
Not since Vince McMahon's
Don't
on it, I'll
be
tell you that.
disrespectful. Okay. Well, hey, we hope that the club is here to stay, whether you call them Bullet Club, Baylor Club, I don't care what you call them. Just keep these three guys together. Do it. Dean Ambrose injured. Stop the presses and thank goodness that punk Dean Ambrose is not on my TV right now. I'm not happy that he's injured, but
It sounds like you are.
Well, listen, I have a heart, okay? But I'm just saying. That punk is off the TV. He has a high-grade triceps tendon injury. 9 months out.
Wow.
9 months.
So it's like a strain, tear, something?
Tear, man. He really, he did it.
You know who else has a heart? The Grinch, but it was 3 sizes too small. And I think you've got him beat by a couple of sizes, okay?
That was very rude.
Listen, like I said, all the facts.
That was
whether
very
it's
rude.
hard to face or not.
I didn't like that. Mixed match challenge. So Boston Bad Boy, you remember I was telling you about the fact that the WWE is doing this thing on Facebook, where it's like a 20-minute show, exclusive here. They're going to have men and women on the roster tag team together.
Oh, right.
And this is only going to be seen on Facebook. So it's like a new medium here. Facebook is going full steam ahead with original content. They're going after YouTube, basically.
Well, here's the problem. I think that Facebook's missed the boat. In other words, if you're launching something like this on Facebook, you've missed the boat. Because Facebook, if you're trying to attract an ever younger audience, right? And if you're wrestling, you've got to keep the kids who are little kids interested in wrestling. You want the teens, the young adults. Now they got money to spend, blah, blah, blah. If you get the kids, you get the parents spending money. You get the teenagers, you get them spending money, whatever. Facebook, I mean, I've got friends whose kids are 16 years old. Don't use Facebook.
Yeah,
don't use it at all. They've moved on.
You're right.
So I feel like, instead of being cutting edge, right? WWE was cutting edge back when they were WWF with the cable show, and they were ahead of it. They were always ahead of the game.
The network is cutting edge, though. The network is a big deal.
Well, but so then just stick with the network. I don't understand the value in the Facebook. They've already got the platform.
It's a money grab.
Right. So why deal with Facebook? I don't understand.
It's a money grab.
I have a theory that maybe Facebook is paying them to provide some sort of content to drive traffic to Facebook.
That's a fact.
So if that's the case, fine. We'll take the money, I
grab
guess.
for WWE, sure.
Right. But if WWE is paying any kind of money to run something through Facebook, I think that's a waste of time.
Well, somebody's...
Whoa. What the hell? The bell went crazy here.
Listen, you don't.
You know
cut
what that
the Duke
was?
off.
The ghost of Christmas past.
Give me a break. People are going to watch.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Okay? You look at our group, Duke's Wrestling Crew.
Yep.
They may not watch in real time, but they are going to watch. They are going to go back and check it
Well,
out.
that's the thing, but they'll go to the network. They'll go to the website. They'll
Sure,
go
but they're
directly.
going to watch it on Facebook. They're on Facebook right now as we speak in our group discussing wrestling topics.
No, I get that.
So they'll watch this stuff, the content. When I post on the Duke Loves Rasslin fan page, there are people all over the world who just stay up and wait
I want
for
to know,
stuff
and
to
I
be
want you to
posted.
get. I want you to get to the bottom of this because I really don't care that much. But I want you to find out: is this custom content that the WWE is being paid to provide?
That's a fact.
For Facebook.
Yes.
You have that.
Facebook absolutely is paying WWE.
So
for this
what does
content.
it cost if we go to WWE, you and I,
Yep.
and say, "Hey, WWE, we have a lounge in Boston, and we want you to custom create some content for us to play in our lounge." What's that going to cost us? That's a huge amount of money.
Huge amount. This means WWE. Of
That's
course.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know what kind of coin they're getting for this, and they're publicly traded, so we must be able to find that information.
Well, Facebook's going to make it back on the advertising.
Oh yeah, Facebook doesn't care.
Yeah.
I'm just curious
Sure.
what that transaction looks like, because that will show the level to which Facebook is starting to change what it is.
Sure.
Because they're now paying to have content created rather than just relying on the community to create and generate money.
Yeah.
Because they still don't have a working revenue system. Facebook. They do and they don't.
They do and
It's
they
not
don't,
generating
yeah.
the kind of money you would think when 1 billion people use it.
Sure. Which is why they're doing this original content stuff with WWE. I mean,
But they're having to pay for it, and they didn't think they'd have to.
true.
So I
Very
think that's where the
Yep.
the twist is coming.
Yep.
And it must be happening in other realms too.
Well, when you think about Netflix is paying for their content.
Right. Well, that's like but even the network, even as NBC
Sure.
is paying for content.
Sure.
Those shows are produced by other companies.
Sure.
Produced by whatever, Desilu Productions back in the day, whatever. They buy the content and they air it. Same thing with Netflix. And Netflix is also generating its own because they have their own company. Yeah, I think it's leaning that way. But do you become a Netflix if you're
I think
Facebook?
that's what Facebook is looking at.
I know
think they're
that
trying
the
to dig
CBS
into that.
Corporation is looking to become Netflix. I think that they're moving away from broadcast to become this kind of, because they look at the Netflix model and they say, well, we could crush them because we're bigger and have more pull and whatever. But I don't think so. I think Netflix is a household name. It's like Kleenex by now.
Well, that's it. When you put yourself in a position where your brand hits a certain level,
And you're the name.
people are going to stay with you.
I think so. I'd
know?
stay with Netflix. I like their interface. I
Yeah.
like what they have.
It works.
The Will Smith TV show. I think that was a bad move, but we can get into that another day.
I actually watched half of that movie and I didn't mind it.
Oh, I thought it was a show. I didn't watch any of it. I just like
No, it's a movie.
I just like to besmirch
I didn't
Will
mind
Smith.
it. It was crazy. It was a little sci-fi weird stuff,
Yeah.
but I thought it was
I
not
don't,
bad.
we should have a whole episode about what the hell happened to Will Smith, because
The man is making money. What are you talking
no,
about?
I know, but you look in his eyes and there's a sadness. He's
There's a
gonna
sadness.
he's gonna
He's so rich, he's
Here's what's
sad.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
5 years from now, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be flipping through on New Year's Eve, and you're gonna say, "I'm looking for Pitbull. I know he's coming back this year," and you're gonna flip it, and you're gonna go, "I certainly hope it's not Steve Harvey," and then it's gonna be Will Smith.
Oh, jeez.
The final nail in the coffin
Yes.
for Will Smith.
Sure.
Doing New Year's Eve,
Don't-
that'll be it.
And the number one story in the world of professional wrestling is
Oh God.
John Cena will return to the Royal Rumble.
Sometimes I can from where I'm sitting, I can see your notes and read them upside down.
Yeah.
And all I could see was Cena, and I said, this is going to be pointless.
I knew you'd love this.
So can we just end
Listen,
without having to listen to this
Vegas
whole thing?
thinks that Cena's going to win the Rumble. Vegas.
Who's the guy in Vegas? Who's the guy in Vegas, right? Like you're in Vegas and you're an odds maker.
Yeah.
And you get guys doing the Kentucky Derby, the Super Bowl. Oh, Joe, today you're doing John Cena. What? Why can't I do the Super Bowl? Why can't I figure out the odds and who's going to be the next James Bond? Something funny and interesting.
Forget that. I got a question for you.
Oh boy.
Let's say you're Vince McMahon.
Okay.
Right? And Vegas, they're doing these odds on who's going to win wrestling match.
How does that work?
So hold on. Follow me here. People actually put money on this stuff. This is legit. They put money, especially WrestleMania,
Okay, can
Royal
I just say
Rumble,
something?
and all that.
I'm going to do something right now before we continue. I'm putting out a call right now to anybody who listens to this show or knows anybody who's ever put money on a wrestling match. I want to talk to them. I want them on this show. I want to talk to
You
them.
better be nice to them, though.
No, if
I'm
I
sure
want
we will
somebody,
get plenty of responses,
find somebody
but be
who's
nice.
put money on a wrestling match based on some kind of odds.
Fine.
And get them on this show.
We'll have them on
I'm
next
going to
week.
talk.
We'll
to
have them on next show, and we'll talk to them
Now
about this.
continue your theory.
But let's So they put big money too. This is big money we're talking, because what are you putting the odds out for unless you know that people are going to put the money?
That's right.
If you're Vince McMahon, are you sending people out to place the bets because you're in complete control over what's happening here? Right?
Quite literally, it's the sting.
Can you imagine?
It's the long con.
Yeah.
It's rigged.
I'm gonna rob you blind, son.
Now the only way that could work.
Yeah.
The only way that I think that you could legally do that.
Somebody else.
No, but that whenever the scripts are written and the plot lines are written of what's going to happen, they're sealed and kept by a third party, so that nobody knows and can place. You know what I'm saying? Like, how public? Who knows?
But the WWE has no obligation to do anything related to Vegas.
No, I understand that. But if you wanted to make it more of a legitimate operation, you'd say, well, no one knows. There's only one person who knows the outcomes of these things.
Well, there's usually less than a handful of people.
All right, how many people do know?
Literally less than a handful of people.
I mean, the wrestlers, obviously. The people
up until the match time, it's usually just a handful of people.
That's right. Because the wrestlers don't know until pretty recent into
most
when they're
times,
going out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's probably some big retirement.
Unless they need you to know.
That's right.
Most of the time, you don't know until.
So you get
later.
the writers and then
because they don't want it to be leaked. That's the whole point.
How often does it get leaked?
It gets leaked pretty often.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So how does that work for a betting system? It doesn't make any sense.
But they do it all, especially WrestleMania. Forget about it. They always bet on everything in WrestleMania.
All right, so I'm an odds maker.
Yep.
And I say...
so Royal Rumble, who's going to win?
Who's going to win
the whole roster?
Right, I'm going to say, okay, John Cena's 101 to win.
Yep.
Just to throw some names and numbers out there. John Cena's 101 to win. Okay, and I put my numbers out there because I'm the odds maker.
Sure.
I'm surfing Google 20 minutes later, and someone leaks, Undertaker's going to win.
Yep.
What the fuck did I just spend the whole day doing?
I know, that's a good question.
And what happens to all that money? Do you tell your bookmaker, sorry, it leaked online?
Yep.
I want my money back?
Flips
you
it
get
upside
your thumbs
down.
broken.
Yeah.
There's no way to win.
I'm telling you. But you know what? Somebody's winning.
Yeah.
If I'm Vince McMahon, I'm placing those bets.
Boy, I mean, he probably is too. That's why he doesn't care. That's why he doesn't care anymore. He's got a network of people just placing bets under different names. Old wrestling. You know what we should do? We should investigate and see if people are placing bets under old retired wrestlers' names.
Stop it.
Guys who are long gone. Hall of Famers.
I don't want to know. Jeez. You've heard what I think. Now, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm a jerk? Yep. Maybe something in between? Head over to Facebook. Head over to Twitter. Type in Duke Loves Rasslin and let me know. I can't stand when you say yup. Okay?
No, it happens.
No one thinks I'm a jerk. Jesus.
I can get a bunch of those people on the show, too.
We'll save that, please. Up next, a guy by the name of Ska Mop Boy Rubin.
Hey, this is Daniel Richards, the progressive liberal. I want you to remember to vote Democrat, turn this country around, continue listening to one of the best out there, the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. I am Ska, the Mop Boy Rubin, the man who is single-handedly cleaning up indie wrestling throughout the Rocky Mountain territory. That's right, you heard me right. I am the cleanest player in the game. The reason why I am the cleanest player in the game is because I will never use my mop to win a match, because it's simple. I never work dirty. Now, there's one thing I'm just sick of everybody asking me, ever since Provider from the Cold Awaits You asked me this in front of the crowd of CSW, and that was, Mop Boy, when are you going to become Mop Man? Well, first of all, you wouldn't ask Ric Flair, the 16-time world champ, when he's going to become Nature Man, so you better give me the same respect when you call me Mop Boy.
Wow, look at that, huh?
I never work dirty, and I will prove that every time I clean up the ring.
Wow. He did one of those. But wait, there's more.
Yeah,
see that?
exactly.
Wow, Mop Boy. Okay. Yeah. This is going to be interesting.
The
here.
Mop Boy sounds like
I need to cut you off right there, Duke. It's time to pour out the mop bucket water, put some clean water in there. Because I know that international superstar Tyra Russamee came to America specifically to kick your ass.
That's right. That's right. She did.
Okay.
She did. She came in to kick his butt, right? And she was working.
But unfortunately, at the last Rocky Mountain Pro show, she got powerbombed and she broke her arm. And I have full right to believe that you were the one to put that bounty on her head, Duke.
Oh,
wait a second.
Here's a theory I haven't heard yet, but I totally believe it.
Don't be besmirching the good goddamn name of the Duke, Jack. All right?
Hey, I mean, if that bounty does happen to be true, I will easily break both of your arms to make up for that wrongdoing.
Whoa,
and
wow.
listen here, I'm the Mop Boy. I'm the cleanest player in the game. I'll make sure there's some very clean breaks.
Okay.
Ooh,
all right.
I like
Wait a
that.
second. Hold
I
on,
like
hold on,
that.
hold on, sir. Let me explain something to you once and for all here, Mop Boy. I will sue. Okay? I don't have time to be sitting here trying to fight some crazy wrestler who walks around with a mop. Okay? I'm not going to do that because I don't know what you're going to do with that thing. I will sue you.
I have an idea what he's going to do with that thing, and I can't believe I'm going to have to wait to see what he does.
No.
Because I have an idea where that mop is going, and it's going to be hysterical when it happens.
And for the record, Tyra Russamee, you threatened the Duke, and you saw what happened.
Oh,
and I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Isn't he
All
tough?
Well,
He's tough over here, isn't
I
he?
won't go out of my way to find you, Duke, but you know where the open challenge is in Colorado Springs Wrestling, and it's open to all challengers.
Oh,
Men, women, doesn't matter. I will take on anyone in the name of sportsmanship and in the name of cleanliness.
This
In the
guy's
name
out
of
of control.
cleanliness.
He's out of control. So wait, hold on a second. Let's back up here because your name is Ska Mop Boy Rubin. What the heck is a ska? What is this ska business we got going on here?
Well, I mean, if you are, a fan of good music, especially 90s music, ska, third wave ska was really popular in the 90s. It kind of emphasizes, a two-tone syncopated beat with, a horn section as well. The roots of ska music, though, trace back to Jamaica, all the way back to the 80s and even the 60s with bands like the Toasters, who I come out to in my entrance music. But, I'm a much more of a fan of 90s ska, fans like Real Big Fish, Streetlight Manifesto, and I know you're out in Boston, so I got to give a shout-out to Big D and the Kids Table as well.
Oh, we got to give it to the Big D and the Kids
Who knew
Table,
a guy
of
that
course.
named himself Mop Boy would be such a geek and know all this stuff about ska music and totally take all the coolness right out of it? There's something in the water out there in Colorado between you and the pirate guy who hasn't seen any water in his life. I'm starting to get a little worried about what's going on out there. It's the high altitude, maybe?
I still got some traumatic memories from that pirate that directed Captain Stevens.
I wouldn't. Traumatic for me is just having to deal with a guy who calls himself a pirate who's never set foot on a boat. I don't even think he's taken a shower in his life. That's how little water he's ever seen. It's unbelievable.
I've never seen a boat, and I mean, hey, even if you did have a poop deck swab, not even the Mop Boy would swab that deck.
All right. I certainly hope not. Now, wait, I just have one important question before we move on. Are you in any way related to Mr. Clean?
No, I am not related to Mr. Clean, but
Okay.
I do think that man has a fantastic agent, and I would love to get on the phone with him because I need some advertisements like that guy right there.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm sitting across from a man who's as bald as Mr. Clean, but has none of his money or his pulling potential.
Listen, I'm handsome. That's all that
you
matters.
could ask Hunter Gray's manager, the Polish Prince. I do a great job at shining bald foreheads with my mom.
Hey, I might use
that'd be great. You know what? I might put a bounty on that and have him come over here and polish that skull of yours.
Give me a break. Give me a break. So wait, how did you come up with this Mop Boy thing anyway? What's this all about?
So, honestly, it wasn't something I actually, came up with. It wasn't something I intended to happen. What happened was back when I was working with Primo's Pro Wrestling here in Denver, two guys, the Miracle's name is Tony, and I'm sure Paul London had a match. I don't remember the semantics. I don't remember who bled all over the ring. I just remember the referee came up to me and was like, hey, we need somebody to clean that ring right now. And, I'm still, in my early training. I run out to the ring with a mop, and I start cleaning up the blood in the ring, and the crowd just started chanting, Mop Boy, Mop Boy. And, it just stuck, ever since then, I was the Mop Boy, and, it became who I am. Now I live out of a janitor's closet at a local high school, and, that's my life. I clean floors, and I clean up business in the ring.
Now,
plain and simple.
Now, is your alter ego the Toxic Avenger? Because we all know that he had a mop as well.
Only on Halloween. Only on Halloween.
That's good.
To dress up, but no.
We talk a lot.
Radioactivity in my blood.
We talk a lot about good gimmicks, and I always say my favorite gimmick is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He's got a 2x4. It doesn't get simpler and better than that. To me, the mop is right along that line of something very simplistic, and it works on a lot of levels. I applaud
committed
you.
to it. He's committed
Unlike
to
that stupid captain who's never even seen a boat, never mind call himself a captain.
Would you leave Captain Stevens alone?
No, I
Jesus.
totally agree with you, man.
See? He agrees with
No,
me,
this
as
is
do
negative.
most people.
No.
Thank you very much.
Have you seen that captain's finisher? He tried to hit me with a gutbuster in my match, not too long ago. Then he tries to pull a lollipop out of his boot and shove it straight up my ass.
Whoa!
See, you know what? That's the thing.
Successful.
The thing is, with the captain, I feel like he has none of the skills required for navigating a boat, but he has all of the skills that people would acquire when they were out to sea for long periods of time, and there wasn't a lot of things to do. So it's weird. He's got none of the practical skills of being a pirate, but he's got some of those questionable ones that we'd like to leave to history.
No, I like Captain Stevens. You stop being negative about it. And you mentioned that Primos Pro Wrestling, that nut job, that sick individual there. I am the provider. What's his problem there? Is he a friend of yours?
I mean, I am the provider has always been a friend to me, but after that match I had with Cooper and Bobby Jackson out of Utah, I hit Bobby with my mop handle slam. I hit him with that impact finish right to the mat, and what does Coop do? He kicked me out. The stipulation was if I lost, I'd get kicked out of the Colt to weight shoes. So, now it's just kind of like there's been a veil between us. I'm no longer a member of the Colt to weight shoe at any promotion. So, that really kind of made Mop Boy his own man. For lack of better words, I'm the provider taught me a lot. He taught me, what it takes not only to be a wrestler, but, what it takes to, be the mop boy in the ring, He got me in contact with guys like Paul London and Pat Tanaka, who taught me so much of the basics that I knew and used in my wrestling career. So, I have a lot of respect for I am the provider, even if we don't always talk like we used to.
Now, this is important. That was important, but this is more important. Now, is the mop, is it like a wool mop with the strands, or is it like a foam mop, like a sponge mop?
I have.
Or do you have multiple mops?
I have broken many mops in the time of this, period of my life. Ever since I decided to take those mops in the wrestling ring. Now, a lot of times, I'll just find the mop at the venue. Why not?
A dirty mop.
There. Yeah, exactly. It's probably going to hit my opponent either way. So,
right.
Why should I worry about this?
Right. Now, do you like to use a bucket with the squeegee built, the ringer built in, or do you just go old school?
What are we talking about? This show is going down the drain right now. Look at this.
This is what I find interesting.
You're talking to a guy who walks around with a mop. You're asking him about squeegee. What the hell?
Exactly. Who would know better than the guy that walks around a mop?
Goodness.
And it's going to be even funnier when he takes that mop and like that lollipop, it goes right in.
Stop it right now. Now, look, which I can't believe here. It was definitely a fluke. You actually won a championship recently. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I did. I actually won the Colorado Springs Wrestling Championship.
How the hell did a guy walking around with a mop, how do you win the Colorado Springs Wrestling Championship?
Well, the former champ before me, Jimbo Lucas, we've had a beef. He's taken a couple of my open challenges. I came short a few times. He actually won his #1 contenders match against a really great wrestler, Cormac Battle. Cormac really put in a good fight, but that trumpet player just couldn't get it done. So Jimbo, after his match, he's acting all cocky, and he's like, "Hey, Mop Boy, I see you out in the crowd. I'll put my belt on the line because I feel so good no one can beat me." And so what does he try to do? He tries to cheat, right? He tries to throw powder in my face. I get out of the way. He's dealing with whatever the mystery powder his manager was trying to throw at me. I pinned him 1, 2, 3. The belt was mine. Unfortunately, though, the glory didn't last for too long. Danger Dean, who lost his loser leaves town match to Marty the Moth Martinez, he actually came out and cashed in his Colorado cash-in briefcase, which was good for a championship match any time. And as soon as I beat Jimbo, it was my third match of the night, he cashed in, speared me, and it was over.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Let me tell you something. We can't have a champion be a guy walking around with a mop. That's just ridiculous.
Well, this is a pressing question I've had throughout this interview, and that question is, are you more of a mop and glow guy or a pine saw guy?
Oh, my goodness.
What leaves a better finish when using a mop?
What is going on right now?
Hey, I'm more about, you always got to sweep the floor first. I'm looking for taking applications for, a sweeper girl or a sweeper lad.
Duke might be qualified for that. I mean, that's about all he might be qualified for.
The only thing I'm going to sweep is sweep this guy off my show here. Mop Boy, if fans want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to reach you on social media?
All right, so the best way to find the Mop Boy on social media would be, first off, on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Mop Boy. just one word, MOPBOY. My Twitter and my Instagram handle are both the same. They're going to be Dude, DUDEIMSKASOME. Dude, I'm Skawsome. Like, you took my name, Ska, added the word awesome to it, so it's Skawsome.
Wow, this guy's out of his mind. Hey, let me know where you train before we let you go. Let me know where you trained for wrestling, because I'm going to go to that school and have a talking to with them. I want to know what the hell they're teaching people.
I'm on my way to training right now. I train over in Golden, Colorado currently with the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy. The Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy feeds into their promotion, which is Rocky Mountain Pro, which is actually Vince Russo's name is all over all the stuff we do. Vince Russo offers us creative advice on our characters, and then they have a great group of trainers, Mercury Matt Yaden, Zach Anaya, and when he comes out, Hoodie from the Left Coast Gorillas as well over in NWL. So, you know, it really is a great school. The connections are there. And, you know, they've really helped me take my wrestling skills to the next level.
Listen, Vince Russo and I share a mutual close friend in Big Vito LaGrazzo, also his lovely wife. Shout out to Lil Noel, Harlow LaGrazzo. I'm going to have a talk with them, because this whole Mop Boy business here, I don't know, okay?
Well, hey, I got to say, I have mad props for Vito, especially with what he's doing right now with that take a knee for concussions. I really do think, you know, or take a knee for CTE, I apologize. I really do think, you know, he's letting, you know, knowledge be known out there. And, you know, he really does have pro wrestlers' best interest in mind, you know, and we all got to, you know, take a knee for this and really realize, you know, how detrimental career, you know, a concussion could be, not just on your career, but on your entire life.
Well stated. Well, listen, Mop Boy, we finally, at the end, we found something to agree with. But just so you know, if you ever threaten me again, I'll sue you.
I'll give you his location, and you know what? I'll provide the mop, so you don't even have to bring it with you.
I've been talking to Matthias Glass, and I am sure he will be my legal representative if you ever do try and sue me. So, got a good Jewish lawyer for that.
Listen, I need you to do me a favor.
Oh, now what? When
these wrestlers start threatening my life, I need you to stick up for me, okay? I thought we were supposed to be a team here.
Is that what you thought?
That's it. This guy threatens to break both of my arms, all this crazy stuff here. What the hell?
What was Ric Flair's thing? He was the dirtiest guy around?
Dirtiest player in the game.
Dirtiest player in the game. You've met the second dirtiest player in the game. So I don't care about you. Oh. And the only thing I would ask Mop Man, or Mop Boy, whatever the hell his name is.
He's not a man yet, just a boy.
Yeah, he's not. Would he prefer the wood-handled mop, the traditional, to hit you with, or the aluminum, lighter weight,
don't be rude.
Faster, higher speed?
Don't be rude.
I think you want a different mop for a different occasion.
I want a Swiffer mop handle, because those are, you know, they break.
Yeah, Swiffer for one, and an aluminum handle for the other.
Give me a break. All right.
Oh,
well, up
boy,
next,
oh boy.
We have Ask Duke, which hopefully the Boston Bad Boy has something good from you listeners.
Don't start.
You know. But before we get to any of that, it is time, since you were complaining about what I had to say earlier, it is time for the Boston Bad Boy rant.
I'm surprised you let me do this.
Listen, I'm going to give you a little spotlight. You can spew off whatever nonsense is on your mind for the week. Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking about this, and I think this is a serious thing. So, as much as like I said, I don't follow wrestling as closely as you do. I don't watch the True Hollywood stories and whatever the reality shows that you watch. But there's some stuff about it that I find interesting, the business side. And I think this appeals to the business side. So, they did a taping of 205 Live recently. And Kalisto was hit in the face with a bottle thrown by someone in the crowd. I believe you're aware of this. I believe a lot of people saw this. And it caused him to have to go get stitches. He's been out of action ever since, and it's been a while. You know, a couple of weeks at least, maybe, I don't know, a month, I don't know. So, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We've heard story after story. We talked to the Duke of Dorchester, who back in the 50s and 60s and 70s was getting hit with bottles when he's the McMahons had to put a wooden barrier around the ring at the Boston Garden. We talked to one of the Killer Bees. He said when he was at the Garden, maybe this is just a Boston thing, but it turns out it's not. I thought, hey, maybe it was just, it's one of those things in the past. It was rough and tumble. This guy gets a bottle, hits him in the face while he's in the ring. Okay? Busts him up. Busts him up. And so, here's what I'm sick of. I'm sick of all these punk fans who want so badly to be part of the show, who want so badly to be somebody, but not have to put in any of the work that comes with having to become a pro wrestler and actually walking into that ring, and they throw something in there to disrupt everybody else's experience and so that they can be some little shining star. How dare you? How dare you potentially end the career of somebody who's working, okay? Here's the thing, everybody. It's wrestling. They're not really fighting. It's entertainment. Would you go to the Nutcracker and throw a lawn dart at somebody because you thought it would make the show more interesting? Because you thought, hey, it'd be funny if I'm sitting at the theater and they put the spotlight on me and go, who just stabbed a Nutcracker with a lawn dart? It's absolutely unbelievable. These guys work out constantly, guys and girls, constantly to entertain you. They take total damage to their body. They take sometimes life-threatening damage cumulatively to their body. And when you injure them, you are injuring their career. You're taking food off the table of them and their family. You know what? Everyone likes to say, well, they're rich. Those guys are rich. So you got to throw something at them? Get some class, will you? Wake up. It's unbelievable. So, here's what's going to happen. Lay off the cheap beer, because I know you're not drinking anything that's worthwhile. You're drinking warmed over piss, okay? And get it together. Act like a human being. Again, don't be subhuman. There's a lot of you subhuman wrestling fans, and that's what pisses me off the most. So, why not walk up to the next big guy you see, throw something at him, and see what happens when he has a chance to react, okay? We'll see how that ends. You write me a letter. You come on the show. You tell me if you're able to talk while there's no teeth in your mouth. And that's it from me.
Hey, this is the Duke of Dorchester. The one, the only, the man of the hour. Yeah. Can you handle that, baby? I want to tell you this. You've been listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.
Man, I'll tell you, man. I just, when I hear that, all I can do is laugh.
He cracks me up, man.
That's my buddy right there.
That's a sell right there.
Yeah, that's a sell.
That's a sell.
And, you know, he's still on the mend. Shout out to the Duke of Dorchester. You know, he had his surgery on D-Day.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So I'm glad he's on the mend and he's doing good.
Doing well.
Got the good family around and everything.
That's right. That's right. So shout out to the Duke. All right, Boston Bad Boy. What do you have this week for Ask Duke?
Well, some of the fans of this show did submit some questions.
Good stuff.
But here's the thing. I am so tired right now. I'm not gonna pre-read them. I don't care. I don't care today.
Oh, good.
So I don't care if they're good. I don't care if they're bad.
Oh, imagine that.
Okay? So we're just going to go right through it.
Our fans are great.
And just get it over with.
All right. Well, let's see.
All right. Shelly, the world's greatest, oh, Jesus, has an interesting question for Duke. And she asks, can you tell the Usos apart?
Well, Shelly could be a he. We don't know about this.
Shelly's, you know what? I've decreed Shelly's a woman.
Okay, that's it. That's it.
So
whether you knew it or not, Shelly, you're a woman.
Can you tell the Usos apart?
I can.
I've never even seen the Usos, so I couldn't help you.
Of course, man. You got Jay and Jimmy. I can tell them apart. You know what's interesting?
Nothing about wrestling.
Jimmy usually is a little more heavyset. He's a little more thick than
Can
Jay.
you stop right now? Can I put a stop to I don't want you to go through these guys' physical attributes.
That's what it is.
You're making me uncomfortable.
Well, I can tell the two apart there. By the way, the best tag team in the world right now.
This is just telling me that you're looking a little bit too closely at men in tights.
I like the Usos.
That's all I
like
out
the
of that.
Usos. Except when they're trying to be funny. You're not funny. But other than that,
so you guys have that in
wrestling.
common. That's nice. It's nice to have things in common with people you watch on TV.
Jerk.
All right, so in the group, someone posted, this was sent to me, someone posted Samoa Joe's quote, which is, quote, because of me, Dean Ambrose is a stay-at-home husband living off his wife's paycheck. Do you think the writers went too far with that, or was he shooting?
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I was very shocked when Joe said that, because he said it to Renee Young, who's Dean Ambrose's wife.
Yeah, well.
So she's interviewing him, and then he says this thing on live television.
Yeah.
And it's like, for a second there, you're like, oh, that's a hell of a line. Then you're like, wait a second, he just said that to the wife.
Right. He went right for it.
He went right for it. I don't know, man. Joe might have done that one on his own. I don't even know if the writers did that.
But it becomes quotable. So
that's it.
I guess
there's not a problem there. Face, she didn't know what to do with that.
Well, would you?
Well, he's a big dude, too.
Well, and also, Is she a wrestler? She's not a wrestler.
She's not a wrestler.
So
no
again,
way.
she's not someone who's trained to think on their feet and come back with something promo-wise. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the only thing that you could do with that is punch him in the face.
Right. Like, just give a slap.
You got to fight. That's it.
And she ain't going to fight him.
No. Well,
nor should she.
Yeah, because, Joe's a big guy.
Yeah, exactly. So, with that being said, it's time for my question.
Oh, my Buddha. Here we go.
So, I had some of my minions. I have people now. I don't know if you know this. I have solicited the work of some people to do, because, again, I have too many real important things to do than to research all this wrestling stuff.
Oh, you're so important.
But it's better than listening to you, bitch.
Okay.
So I've hired some helping hands.
Listen to this.
To get some stuff together. And they're my researchers.
Oh.
They do a little work for me.
They better not be under the table. This better all be above board here.
Don't you worry about it. So it's been brought to my attention that over the New Year's weekend, Enzo Amore ended up in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he had some complications, I guess, with the flu. And I know that I'm speaking for both of us when I say we wish him a speedy recovery.
Absolutely. Shout out to Enzo.
You're a fan. I've heard his name, so that works. But it got me thinking. He's been carrying that 205 Live a lot since being put on there. He's the guy.
Yeah.
It's on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the guy who is the apple of your buddy Vince's and the doofus son-in-law's eyes, Big Cass, still recovering from his injury. So, here's my question to you. Are you ready to admit that your buddy Vincent Q. McMahon and his band of ass-kissers are out of touch with the fans who clearly prefer a guy like Enzo Amore?
All right. Well, first of all, I don't like the way you characterize my good friend Vince McMahon and the people that
I was saying that sarcastically. Well, just for the record.
I hope so, because that's not very nice. Yeah, Big Cass, he's allegedly 7 feet tall. He has long blonde hair. Sure, he is definitely the prototype for what a WWE future champion in Vince's eyes would be.
But he's got to get into the ring, doesn't he?
Well,
he's got to get in there and actually do something, doesn't he?
He was the tag team with Enzo, and they did the thing, and then they split them, and Cass is beating the hell out of Enzo. Cass gets injured. Enzo gets put on 205 Live as a punishment.
And ends up doing what? Carrying the whole thing on his back.
205 Live.
That brand was ready to go under, by the way, 205 Live. And now their ratings, because of Enzo Amore, are through the roof.
Yeah, but hold on a second, though. It's not like Big Cass isn't somebody that you can't hitch your wagon to. When he comes back, he's going to be fine. And when he starts...
Listen, Straw Man, we're talking about something different. I want you to admit that they did wrong when they tried to put Enzo on 205 Live as punishment. You need to say that was wrong, because clearly the result has been the opposite for the company, i.e. making big dough.
Well, Enzo, he was kind of being annoying there, and to the point where Vince just wanted to get him the heck away from him. So that's why he was bounced down to 205. No one ever thought that he could do what he did.
And you never want to admit the truth, and that is you and your friend McMahon, you're out of touch. It's 2018, and you're just going to continue to kiss his ass like you would last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. So you know what? I'm calling this match. I'm pinning you out, brother. Take it away, Tony.
Mr. Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Rasslin.
Thank you for joining us, Ska Rubin. Even though I don't know about this Mop Boy business yet.
Well, yeah, you're going to know about it sooner than later, and that's going to be pretty funny.
I'm going to run away from him. Head over to Duke Loves Rasslin on Facebook and Twitter. Let us know what you think of the show, folks. Also, all of our previous episodes are archived on YouTube. That's right.
And you can listen to all my great insight, all my great theories, everything that works all the time.
You know what? It's a new year, and you've been so rude this entire episode.
I got to tell you,